Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives before, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside, and I just got distracted saying, "What's going on in the background and stuff with my shipping boxes and stuff?" But this is the layout for today, and it may be a little bit different tomorrow. We never know. It's just a matter of making those small adjustments, those small changes. One of the very first thing that I woke up to, when things started moving for me, was to make different choices for myself. And I tried to do that, but some of these choices sometimes are so big, or they seem so big and so beyond us. And because we don't have that belief totally solidified, it's where our procrastination lies, because it's in that hesitancy that we miss out on opportunities. Oh my goodness, so many opportunities in my life that I missed out on. But I can't feel bad about that, because in that hesitancy, there were also moments where I kind of jumped the gun and rode those waves and been hit with emotions that I could not control. And, right, being that person that kind of follows her whim, follows what makes her happy, right? Follows what makes it feel like home. I went off in different directions. Those experiences didn't serve me any less. It is in our experiences, you guys. It is in those choices that we make, and those choices that we don't make, that we can easily be left behind. And these are lessons that I didn't grow up to. I was given free choice my entire life, but if you don't know there's a free choice, right? Because these are ideas that I just woke up to in less than a decade. And, I lived my entire life one way, when in actuality, I was born to live my own life, my own directions, my own whims, right? Being able to pick up in those, and then have people slam me because I'm irresponsible, when truly I wasn't being irresponsible. I was following what was saving me in the moment. And whether I got wrapped up in my gambling addiction in the moment, it was saving me, because my marriage had fallen apart. I had fallen apart, and I was grabbing at strings, anything I was grabbing. And being that codependent person, when my marriage fell apart, I went right back to my sister, who was so smart, right? She could save the day. She controlled everything. She was the matriarch by her own choices. And it felt safe, and it felt like home, right? But sometimes when we are called for something else and we're going in those directions, we are still our own people. We are still making our own choices, and we're building boundaries, and we're building on our values, right? We're looking into what makes us feel guilt and shame, when we're looking into what makes us happy, and who makes us happy, and who makes us feel guilt and shame. We don't look deep into enough, because sometimes those areas are a little bit touchy, aren't they? And so we just look at the surface and we think, oh my goodness, right? Life is amazing. I never have to worry about anything. Tracy's going to take care of everything. That's my sister, right? She'll take care of everything. And she did, but in the directions and in the thoughts and the ideas that she had, right? And so I lived a little bit vicariously, right? Or my sister lived a little bit vicariously through me. But it is in that codependent codependent relationship. I fell into it deep. And I've only been out of it for a half a dozen years. And I would have to say I'm doing pretty amazing, because these relationships, even though they look different, they feel different, they're from now on moving different, they are solid, right? And so I understand that I'm being pulled out of a, a living and an experience situation that has always been my norm, right? It's always been my norm. And some of these characters I will never bump into again. I just feel like I just being plucked out of it. But there have been relationships formed in those experiences, and relationships and experiences that cannot be taken away, right? And if I get the opportunity to cross paths again, right? Maybe I'll fall right back into it. Maybe I'll have enough tools on my side belt to be able to whip them out and go, get away from me, or please come near me, right? Because we all want to be seen and we all want to be heard, but we all want to be seen and heard by what's meant, right? For us to be seen and heard by, if that makes any sense. That's why I don't worry about the numbers. And if you guys have hung out with me for any length of time, you know next Wednesday will be my 10-year anniversary. My 10-year anniversary on YouTube. Pretty amazing. I have pivoted, I have changed, I have made so many choices. Hopefully, they are different choices. I was creative and I followed the lessons and following what I love and being part of a community. And even if that community in this moment is not in that physical, right? That I have not connected. And that's not entirely true. In saying that, I met a new one today who got very, very close to the way that I think and the way that I move and the way that I, right, project in the future. And this gentleman's name, Dr. Lane McGilchrist. Ooh, super smart. I even went into Wikipedia to do a little bit of Googling on him, because he was hitting pretty close onto some of those ideas. Not all of them. He didn't even mention some of the important ones. But it's in those similarities that we pick them up in the same place. And those are gifts that were given to us. So if I got that gift and they got that gift, right, maybe I can trust this person because we trusted the source that, right, made us believe in that one thing. That calls for us to network. That calls for us to get our feelers out. That calls for us to find people who, right? I talk about just knowing enough, right? I'm not an expert on anything, but I can get into a conversation on a lot of topics. 100% I can. Hello, Hannah. Happy New Year. I hope you pop in. I haven't decided whether it's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday because I haven't even started my video yet, my 10-year looking back video. I don't know if we need it, but it seems to be the norm, right? And it seems to be a good idea. How creative that is, I don't know. But I think if I was given a little bit of time out of that busy, right? Shut everything down and just be with myself. And that's why I was thinking maybe I would walk home tonight, and that maybe I could um, come up with some ideas, be inspired by that creativity that comes from those other parts of me, right? That's not to say Cindy's not creative. I am. I show up here every single day, no matter what. But sometimes it's in the tools that are on my tool belt, and sometimes those are tools that are somewhere. I don't know. But I show up, and I show up the best that I can. And I think that's just the message, just to show up in the best that you can. Take a look in the world, look at the troubles, look at the problems people are having. There's a lot of it going on. I can't even think on my hands, of all the people out there that I know, and how many of them are running on smooth, right? And it isn't too many right now. And it's that readjustment. And that's a good sign. That means that's a new lesson, a new way, a new value. And hopefully it's something that's important to all of us. I'm sure that I am. I'm sure that it's an accumulation of a lot of, right? It's like the Declaration of Independence is just being revived and renewed. And this is the way that I'm going to look at it. And things are going to get better from here on in. And I'm staying in that optimistic. I remember when I first woke up to these ideas, how fun it was. It was so weird. It was the only way that I could look at it as, oh my goodness, this is a ride. This is so much fun. This is so weird. I'm just going to ride these ways and see what it take. Oh, that's curious. Now settling into it a little bit better, right? Right? We don't need all that excitement. We just needed that little bit of new direction, right? Starting to make some different choices, right? Moving out of the old ideas, right? It's like the microwave oven, right? When it first came out in the 50s, you wouldn't want to stand near that. You'd be all zapped and radiated, right? Where now all kinds of safety features are put into that microwave. That's innovation. And that innovation is our evolution. It seems to be the direction that we're going. So I'm going to do my best to stay on top of it, stay relevant in what the majority is, right? But still be able to keep that individuality of that creative that only I can bring to the table. Okay, you guys. Hannah, thank you so much for popping into my life. And for those of you who pop in later, I hope you're having a great, well, I guess you're over hump week and it's Christmas is over and done with. We made it through for lots of us. That airy scary, I tell you. That family thing, it's right. I try to be pleasant, but they know me well enough that there's only a certain amount that I can take before I get a little bit frazzled. And it has been a year for everybody. So everybody's just handing off, handing off, handing off, right? I'll just take that as service. Take that, enjoy it, hope it serves you, and right? I had a day off yesterday. I didn't do much at all. I managed to get the garbage out of the house, right? And eat most of the sweets that ended up in my place over Christmas. So we're ready to start afresh. Another shot at it. Okay, you guys. I am off. I'm going to work. Got called in a little bit early today, just a little bit, but you know what? We adapt, we conquer, and I'm happy to ground in something other than the heaviness because there has been a little bit of heaviness this season, but also a lot of bit of amazing, right? Isn't it neat? I noticed that we got a little bit deeper in coming back to the Christmas traditions, right? Everybody went way out. Oh my goodness, I got almost $200 in gift cards. Wow, right? So grateful. Okay, you guys, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.